Good morning, Polytunnel fans. Here we are for part 3 of the Polytunnel build and the rainwater capture system. Today I'm actually going to show you how to do the water capture system, but I'll give you a little run through of what I've actually finished with the tunnel. So it's more or less ready for the cover to go on. I'll just go over a few things, which is concrete posts with a piece of wood attached to it, screwed at back. That's to stop your wood rotting and so it lasts a lifetime basically. The other thing is, don't forget how I fasten these hoops to the side rail being for us water system, what we need. And then again, I put all these storm stays on, which I believe needs to go at the bottom, not up there, for obvious reasons to me, but it's up to you what you want to do. But that's where I do it, and that's where I would do it. Right, now the thing is, one little thing is with these sort of, I'm not going to say flimsy polytunnels, but as I say, I made a mistake probably when I first ordered this. I should have got probably paid for the upgrade and got a thicker steel hoop, but I've adapted it so it's solid now anyway, and I think it's worked out actually cheaper than paying for extra upgrade. So what I've done is, as you can see, I've put 2 posts in, 2 concrete posts there. Now that stops the rock, the sway, which is what will kill the polytunnels, especially if they're a bit thin down at floor. That continuous rocking at wind, it just works away and it'll end up destroying your tunnel eventually. So I've put 2 of them in there, and one of the reasons is because the wind funnels straight down there, straight down here, straight through there. So I've strengthened this little bit here, but also what I've done is I've put a couple of metal stays in at back, a couple of metal supports, concreted them in, so that's just giving it extra and above. And same, if you look right down there, I've got another one in. So I've got 4 in this length, and this length is 50 foot. So that's where I am at minute. And then again, as an extra, I didn't get these from the company when I bought the tunnel, but 2 braces there, them 2 diagonals are going to the top of the door, I think are pretty important, and we didn't get them for some reason. Anyway, I adapted my own out of a bit of metal, and that makes it absolutely solid. One there and one at the far end, so that connects your ridge to your to the top of your door frame. So obviously when you're putting your polythene on and it's pulling on that, it's not rocking the polytunnel. It's solid, absolutely solid. And then extra wood round for me bits of wood. So I'm nearly ready for the sheet to go on. I've just got to put my holding bits on, and I'm waiting for my green netting to come. But I'm just going to show you now how I do this water capture system, which I believe is the best option, but that's for you to judge maybe. So here's your polytunnel. Now this is for side rail with that side ventilation. So if you look there, I've put the green netting on, and on top of that green netting is some builder's DPC, thick DPC. Now I would recommend getting 150mm wide. I've cut this down a bit, it was wider than 150, but there's an option of 100mm or 150, but I'd believe to get 150mm, which is 6 inch, and use that, right? So you've got this on, and under that piece of wood you attach your green netting and your DPC and fasten that on. There you are, look. So that's, you've got that there up to the top and that's fastened on. Right, and as you can see then, that DPC falls into your gutter and there's no loss whatsoever of any water there. Yeah, you put your brackets underneath, right, and leave a little bit so you don't nip all this so it's stuck up like that, which on mine has happened, but I need to alter it, but that's another story. So yeah, so then you leave it like that. Now the other thing is, when we put our covers on, and imagine this is your cover, we wrap it round a 50mm batten and give it plenty of wraps, I'll tell you. Wrap it round loads of times and then screw it, and you're better off screwing it every 6 inch. Now the reason for screwing rather than nailing is it's a hell of a lot easier when you renew the cover to unscrew all them than try to pull nails out of it. So that is why, as I say, we've got this 6 inch side rail to accommodate all this system. And as I say, this batten here, when you pull it down and tighten it, and we do these battens in about 1 metre length to handle, you know, when you're wrapping them up, you can't go too long, so we just do them in little metre lengths and start in middle and go along to ends. So that's how we do it. But we wrap that round your cover. It'll be down here. You need to wrap it up, 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 and wrap it up there, so it's really well wrapped. Don't just do it once or twice round there, because it'll come off if you're in a windy spot, and it's happened to us. You've got to wrap it round at least half a dozen times, I'd say, and then screw it. Yep, and it's fastened. As I say, screwed, you can undo it when the cover's past its sell by date or splits for whatever reason. Right, so there we've got as gutter set up. Right, now I'll go to my other polytunnel and just show you how it's set up to get it into tanks. So right, here we've got it. This is on one of my bigger polytunnels. You can see how that's flapping up a bit, and it shouldn't really, it should go down a bit better, but it still works. So there you are, you've got your water running into your gutter, yeah, and then you've got like a holding tank. You only need one holding tank really. I've just put all these in for another reason, but right, so you put your guttering on into that tank, and it can be whatever size you want that tank to be. On the other side I've got a smaller tank, but so the water goes into there, and then at the bottom, as you can see, we've got tank connectors, 40mm tank connectors, yeah, and then they go into me 40mm pipe work. So as you see, all that 40mm pipe work is going along there. This is you can join in for every polytunnel. It's easy. If you have a bit of plumbing knowledge, helps. But so there you go, there you go. It's all coming along, and then it goes right down to the bottom. You see a few pipes there for different tunnels, all going down. Again, you can see there, system into a tank. Then your tank connector comes out of there, goes along. Now, when you get to the bottom, here we are. Now, this is the capture. These are capture tanks here. Again, we've got another system there. Look, all along there. So the thing is with water will always find its own level. So where you actually lead the water from, your tanks need to be lower. So you hopefully have a bit of sloping ground or whatever. But your tanks need to be lower than your gutter. And as you see, the tanks are lower than the gutter. And that's because the water will build up and build up and build up and get to a certain level. So bear that in mind. Make sure your tanks are lower than your gutters. So there you can see all 3 tunnels all loaded up. Now let me think if I'm thinking of what else to say. I think that's basically it. I can think of what else I will do, but yeah, one thing you've got to think about in winter with this setup, your gutters, if snow's forecast, take your gutters off. We've had a disaster a couple of times with forgetting to take them off when it snows, and it rips all your brackets off. So if snow's imminent, take them down. The other thing is, with this water system being on surface here, it freezes up really easy. Now when it freezes up with this push fit system, they come apart with, when it gets really cold, they'll come apart. So something I'm going to start doing is that, which is tie the 2 pipes together across a joint with some tie wraps, and we're going to do it on alt joints. And the other thing is, if you don't use push fit and you use a welded system, what plumbers use, you know, for welding the pipes, which is like a glue, I think what will happen with that is, if you use a glued system and there's no expansion available in the pipes, it'll probably split the pipe, because frost will just expand, the ice will expand and just blow your pipes. So you can try it, but whether that's a better idea than your push fit ones and, as I say, clip together there like that, I don't know. But what you've got to watch with this is, if you've got all your systems hooked together and one of them pipes comes apart, you can lose a lot of water, so you need to be a bit careful. So yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully you will get a few tips from this, maybe, especially for capturing this water. This other day it probably didn't stop raining all day, and my tanks were down to really low, and they absolutely filled them all up. That were in it with the day's water. But I've got like a lot of capture tanks, and I've got a lot of area to capture water off. So, but yeah, they'll soon fill up, they'll soon pour in, and rainwater is ideal. It's doing us a really good job rather than tap water. So yeah, ideas in action, eh? Right, so thank you for watching, and I hope, well, if you've got any better ideas or any ideas at all, share them with me, because it can only help the sort of like polytunnel growing community, can't it? So yeah, you might know how to do something even better than that. And as I say, just let's share the ideas, and if I can think of any more ideas, I'll put them up on my channel. So thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, and as I say, if you don't wanna, don't bother, just keep looking. Thank you.